On our path to sustainable well-being, to 10x living, it can be useful to have guideposts. And so I thought we'd explore a couple of the kind of quick reference points that we can use on our journey towards a better life. So I think these quests, these reference points can break down into questions. And one of the best ones is, am I contributing more value? Is what I'm doing today investing in my ability to contribute more value? Meaning, what's needed? Value comes in two forms: bringing increased pleasure, increased sustainable well-being, or in pain reduction, right? If you can reduce chronic pain for yourself or others, if you can increase sustainable well-being for yourself, for others, you're delivering value. And the more direct and potent that value, right, the more intelligent your operating system. We all seek value. We all want to feel better and avoid feeling chronically worse. And so value and the potency of that value is the best indicator of our success, right? And and the next question is, are we doing a blend of short-term value, intermediate-term value, and long-term value? For example, buying a mocha, a latte, and giving it to someone is short-term value. You're going to bring about well-being. Writing a book is long-term value, perhaps for yourself, perhaps for others, right? Getting organized, packing for a trip, learning a new skill, short to long-term value. Investing money in a long-term investment. It'll pay off in 20 years, giving money to a nonprofit. Short-term, medium-term, long-term. Is the value that I'm investing in spread out? Meaning, if you're only creating short-term value, right, often there will be a long-term cost, right? You'll have high yields and then it'll dip in the long term. It also, the things that have the most leverage are medium to long term, right? If you invest $100 today and bring it out in 30 years and invest it wisely, you can have a very big impact on the future, on your future, right? Versus investing that $100 on, a new experience that lasts one day. So we want to invest over a period of time. So something ideally we do each day that benefits the day, right? Am I succeeding today? We also want to think of the intermediate. Is there something I've done today that's going to make the next few days, the next 10 days, a little bit more valuable for myself and or others? And then, what about next year? Have I done anything today that will lead to a better year next year? And have I done anything today that will still have value in 20 years, right? Is there anything on that long, maybe 25, 30-year time horizon, right? Because if we're creating daily, weekly, yearly, and 25-year value, we're on the right track. And we can then look at efficiencies, right? Who's delivering more value? Those are our mentors, right? The people who are serving more effectively than we are, that are generating more sustainable well-being, are reducing more chronic and unnecessary suffering for ourselves and others, those are our teachers, right? And what are they doing? What technology are they using? Right? What habits, right? Habits are technologies, investments are technologies, skill sets are technologies. What are they doing to generate that value? And how can we learn from them so that on a weekly basis, our ability, our talent for generating value is increasing, as well as the compounding impact of the value that we're generating, right? We can also kind of filter this through the Pareto principle, which says that the most value is going to come from a very, very, very tiny part of our life, that there's something that we'll do that will create the most amount of unnecessary suffering, and there's something that we can do that's very small that's going to create the most value. There are very few people on the planet that are creating enormous value, right? And so if we understand that the Pareto principle, which is the more complex version of the 80-20 principle, where 80% of the benefit comes from 20% of your behavior, right? The Pareto principle takes that even further, right? That 80% of that comes from 20% of that behavior, right? And so, if you look through that lens, who are the teachers that can teach you the most? What are the few things that you're doing that are having the most impact? So that's what I'll leave you with here today, and thanks so much for watching.